another exciting review of How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Good evening, everybody. I hope your day has been good so far. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. So tonight's review is titled An Easy Way to Become a Good Conversationalist. Right. This is chapter 4 of part 2 of this book. Right. If you do this one thing, you can make anybody like and respect you. You can make a lasting impression on everybody that you meet, and you can also open doors for yourself, doors that you never expect that would open, will begin to open on their own accord if you learn this one thing. Don't forget that we are actually treating 6 ways to make people like you, and this is number 4 of them. Right. While I saw this topic, I was thinking that the author was going to teach us how to speak, how to strike a conversation, how to make a conversation go smoothly, what to say and what not to say, you know. But there is a twist to this. If you want to become a good conversationalist, the key to this is to be an attentive listener. Yes. How to make your conversation go smoothly with anybody, how to make them remember the conversation that they have with you. Right. Be a good conversationalist by being an attentive listener. There are so many stories here of people who learned this one thing and this opened doors for them. They made a lasting impression on people. Jerry is crying. Jerry is with his dad. He's in good hands. He's fine. Thank you, ma. All right. And I'm going to, touch on a few of those stories. It is my desire that we're going to be putting all of these things that we're learning into practice, that we're not going to forget them. Because I tell you, ever since we've been reading this, I make it a point of duty to smile. We've talked about the importance of smiling, how smiling can melt anybody's heart, how it can open doors for you, how it can make people feel like, oh, you really care about them. You give them that first impression before they even see what you're wearing. They're attracted to you by the smile that you give to them, a beautiful smile. Oh, good morning. And it doesn't cost anything. It is so cheap, right? So I am making it a point of duty to remember all of these things and to practice them. Right, talking about being a good conversationalist, the author gave a first example in this chapter. He said sometime ago, he attended a bridge party. He didn't play, he didn't used to play bridge, and there he met a woman who did not used to play bridge as well. And before he knew it, they started talking, but the woman came to him first to say, oh, he discovered that Dale Carnegie had once been on Lowell Thomas's manager, that he had once been Lowell Thomas's manager before he went to the radio, and he had traveled, throughout Europe and everything. So he wanted Dale Carnegie to tell him some things, right? But what happened? That conversation turned to, oh, have you been to Africa? Okay, they all said, oh, I've been to only Algeria and things like that. The woman was like, oh, I have been to Africa. I've been to this place. I've been to this place. And he was intentional enough to listen to her. He listened to everything that this woman had to say. He allowed her to have a way to express herself, to brag about all the places that she had been to. And at the end of the day, the woman felt important. Don't also forget that we have learned that if you want anybody to do whatever you want, make them feel important. Make them realize that, oh, you're actually interested in them, that you're not selfish. This was exactly how this woman felt. She had a good time to talk about all the countries she had been to, everything that she did. So she had that feeling of importance, and that was what she needed. She needed somebody who would be interested. Not somebody who would be cutting her to say, oh, you've been there. Ah, I've also been there. I've also been to Nigeria. Yes. Oh, and then before you know it is back and forth. At the end of the day, you don't remember everything that I said. I also do not remember everything that you have said. But if you have allowed people to have their time, they pour it all out and you are listening. with rapt attention, not you pressing your phone or looking away or fiddling with something while you're listening. No, you give them that rapt attention, So at the end of this conversation, this woman had expanded her ego. She was able to say everywhere, talk about everywhere that she had been. Was she unusual? No, she wasn't unusual. She did nothing outside of the box, right? Because many people are like that. Many of us are like that. We want people that will listen to us. If somebody comes to rant to you about their child, don't say, yes, that's how my own child does as well. My child doesn't like to eat too. It is not only your child. Allow them to have their time. Allow them to pour it out. Don't hijack the conversation. Don't make it yours, right? There are so many examples there that we can give. He also talks about how he struck up a conversation with a botany, and the person at the end of the day credited him to be a good conversationalist. And he was surprised that, oh, are you sure I'm a good conversationalist? Because all I did was to listen to you. And the man gave him a flattering compliment, talking about him to somebody else that, oh, this guy listened to me so much. He was genuinely interested in everything that I had to say. So that left him with a very good impression, right? It gave him so much praises, so much appraisal. He felt that, oh, he had been entertained, and so on and so forth. So he thought of him as a good conversationalist by just listening to him. And what is the secret of this thing? There is no mastery to it. There is no special secret. Just be intentional about it. Just always have it at the back of your mind. Right. That this is what you're going to do. As somebody is talking, don't be preparing your own response in your head, and then you're eager to talk. You'll be tempted to interrupt, but hold yourself back. I had a conversation with two people yesterday, and when I got home, I was like, yes, I goofed. I should have listened more. Right? So we always have that urge to talk. Oh, and then we interrupt people. We cut in. Let us be very careful. You don't have to study for 4 years in Harvard to discover this, right? The author says he knows, and you also know, so many stores, shops, business owners who would set up fantastic stores, beautiful decorations. They will put expensive goods in their shops. But what do? They make one terrible mistake. They now employ clerks, sales girls, sales boys who don't know how to listen, who are not interested in customers, who will be rude to customers, who will interrupt and cut customers while they are laying their complaints, who are eager to talk, who are not good listeners, right? These stores would even spend so much money on advertisements. And when clients are coming, when customers are coming, what happens? They come to the store, they meet clerks and sales girls and sales boys who wouldn't listen to them, who are just after collecting their money. They wouldn't even listen to their complaint, who would just be hell-bent on saying, no, that is our policy, that is it. Ma'am, we can help you, and all of that. And before they know it, they start losing customers gradually. And before they know it, they close up the shop. It is the loss of the business owner. If you put up a store and you don't train the people there to say, hey, this is our core value. We listen. We respect our clients. We don't talk to them anyhow. We are never rude to them, no matter the complaint. And you let it sink into their head that customers are always right. I think some people will argue that, no, customers are not always right. But for me, it is a good guiding principle. If you have it at the back of your mind that, oh, customers are always right, it will always guide you that no matter what this customer has to say, he is right. And that will inform your reaction or your response. It won't be a reaction. Your response, rather, to this customer, oh, this guy is right. I agree with his point of view. I understand what he's saying. There is a terrible store that I used to go to in Abeokuta. I don't go there anymore. Whatever will make me go to that store will be that I don't have any other option anywhere. When I used to go there, in fact, number one, in my own opinion, the store is overstaffed. And I remember that there is one corner at the back. You will see two ladies sitting there. They will cross their legs. They will be gisting. Their legs will almost trip you because they will stretch their legs in the way. They will see customers coming. They will not even adjust. They will not even say hello. They will carry on gisting. If you don't look down, you wouldn't know that their legs are stretched in a way. You would almost trip and fall off. I'm not joking. And then you get to the cashier. Somebody is busy chewing gum. How much is it? How much is it? As in, it irritates me like, come on. You are not being intentional about your customers. And I don't blame them. I blame the person who had so much money to set up such a big store and allow people who are just after their salaries and wages to mess up their businesses. It's the person that I blame, rather. Somebody is talking about one other store here that their staff are very rude. Imagine if you have a choice. If Wati Royal has a choice, she's going to go somewhere else. Right? You train them, you allow them to imbibe your core values. Let it sink into them. Because at the end of the day, there is an adage in Yoruba that ogota, whether you make sales or not, whether you realize profit or not, at the end of the month, they'll collect their own salaries. So it is not their business whether you're making profit or loss. So it should be your business to make sure that they don't ruin your business, right? If you're a business person or whatever you're doing, it is very, very important. There is a store here, a department store in Chicago. A woman walked in. This woman would spend thousands of dollars every month, every year, to buy stuff at this store. And on this particular day, she bought this clothing, which was on a special sale. And when she got home, she discovered that the lining was torn. She took it back to the store and she met with the sales girl who said, no, it is our policy. This is on sales, it is clearance sales, we can't take it. Ma'am, just go and sew it yourself or things like that. And this woman was ready to storm out of the store, angry. I'm sure in her mind she would have said, no, I'm never coming here again. Thankfully, the manager came out just at the nick of time. I said, oh, man, what's the problem? Okay, even though it is in our policy that, we don't take back anything on clearance sales or whatever, but this is a clear case of damage and it is our fault. We will mend it for you. He was able to save the situation, right? There are also different examples of where a client would come and storm into a store. There's a particular one that I like. Let me jump there. Right. About this woolen company. There was a man who the company said was owing them money. And then the man denied it, that no, I'm not owing them. I'm never going to pay anything and things like that. And then they wrote him several letters, did everything, and all of that. So he became angry, flew all the way to Chicago because of this. So he went there, talked to, I think, the manager or something. And, the manager listened with rapt attention. She did not interrupt. She did not do anything. This man poured out everything that he had to say. Imagine traveling from one state to another, something like that, just to go and pour out your anger that your company is treating me like this. I hate this. I don't like that. And he had his time. This woman listened to him. And when he was done, he was so disappointed at the lady's answer. Right. The lady said, oh, I want to thank you for coming to Chicago to tell me about this. You have done me a great favor. For if our credit store had annoyed you, it may annoy their other good customers. And that would be just too bad. Believe me, I am far more eager to hear this than you are to tell it. This man was not ready for this. He thought that he would be met with another angry person, an angry manager. And then he had said, I'm never going to buy anything from your store again. So the woman said, oh, it's okay. I'm sure that, the mistake might have come from us because we have thousands of accounts to look at. So it is possible that we made mistake. You have only your account to look at. So you must have done that with so much carefulness. So it is possible that you are right. And now you said you are not going to buy anything from our store again. Don't worry. I'll recommend this store. I recommend this store. I recommend this store. You can actually patronize them since you don't want to buy from us. This woman said all the words that she needed to say in a gentle and in a kind manner. The man was disappointed. After you have said all the angry words, you have cursed, you rant, you do everything. And the other party just smiles and says, oh, I'm so sorry. What happens? You feel embarrassed. You feel like, oh, you have made a fool of yourself. You have been so mad at nothing. right? If the person doesn't match your mad energy, of course, you definitely feel like you've made a fool of yourself. And after the conversation, because it was their practice that every time this man flew into Chicago, they would have lunch together. So she offered him lunch. They had lunch together. And before he left Chicago, he actually placed an order that was more than what he would usually buy. And after that moment, after that period, I mean, his wife gave birth to a baby boy. He named the baby boy, the middle name of the baby boy was Detma, the name of this manager, or is it the name of the owner of the company? I can't even remember, right? Let me see. I can't remember now, but a top person in the company. He named the baby boy, the middle name of the baby boy was the name of this manager, so to speak, and he remained a friend and a customer of that woolen company until 22 years after, when he passed on. That is a wow story. That is how being a good conversationalist can get you whatever you want. It can melt anybody's heart. I mean, this is not about you learning how to talk. This is not about you learning the perfect response. It is more about you being a good listener. The last story that I want to tell us that blew my mind is that of a little boy. One of the great listeners of modern times was Sigmund Freud. Is it? No, this is not the story. This is not the story. Yes, not Sigmund Freud. He's a great listener, but that's not the story I want to end with. The story I want to end with, is the story of a poor Dutch immigrant boy who washed the windows of a bakery shop after school to help support his family. In fact, he would go and pick coals from the gutter, after the coal vehicles and trucks that delivered coal to a nearby station, and he would pick them so that after they are delivered fuel, and he will pick them home and all of that. That boy, his name was Edward Buck, and he never got more than 6 years of schooling in his life. Yet he eventually made himself one of the most successful magazine editors in the history of American journalism. But how did he do it, right? It's a long story. But the principle that he used is the principle of being a good conversationalist that we have been talking about in this chapter. He left school when he was 13 because his family could not afford it, and he became an office boy for Western Union. But he did not give up the hope of education. He would spare his lunch money and his stiff fare. He would save it, save up to educate himself. When he had enough money, he bought an encyclopedia of American biography and he started reading about great men in history, dead and alive. He was reading about them, the lives of famous people, how they made it, how they became successful. And for those who were alive, he would write them after reading about them, asking for more information, asking them how they were able to make it in life, asking them for things that were necessary or instrumental to his own journey in life. So he wrote a couple of them, so many great people, and many of them responded. Before he knew it, many of them invited him over for lunch, for dinner, and he started meeting great people. He would listen to them with rapt attention. There are so many names of great people, including Mrs. Abraham Lincoln, General Sherman, Jefferson Davis, so many of them, so many generals, Garfield and all of them, right? He would listen to them, he would visit them in their homes, they would invite him over. They took interest in him. That's all, this young boy that really wants to know so much about us, these men and women, were so instrumental in shaping his life. They shaped him. They helped him to have a clear picture of where he was going. Imagine dining with great men and women, just listening to them, listening with rapt attention, showing interest in them. And that was how he became one of, not one, according to this book, he was the most successful magazine editors in the history of American journalism. He rose to greatness. He got where he wanted to get to. Remember, he was from a poor family, somebody that would pick coals around just so that his family could eat. He would wash windows of a bakery. So I don't know if your own background is more humble than the background of this boy, right? It doesn't matter. If you can learn this principle, you can get anywhere in life. Show people that you're interested in them. Reach out to them. Listen when they talk. If somebody is mad at you, don't reply in the same tone, right? Calm yourself down. Psych yourself up that, like, calm down, calm down, calm down. Imagine after somebody has ranted and everything, and then you're saying, oh, thank you so much. In fact, if I was in your shoes, I would do more than that. I perfectly understand you. I am so sorry for what happened. The person will never forget you. That's the truth. But if you want to match their energy, if you give it to me, I'll give it back to you hot, hot, right? We make more enemies than friends. And why do we need so many enemies in life? You don't need any special mastery. You don't need any special thing. Just take note of this, right? But if you want to know how to make people shun you and laugh at you behind your back and even despise you, here is the recipe. Never listen to anyone for long. Talk incessantly about yourself. If you have an idea while the other person is talking, don't wait for him or her to finish. Burst right in and interrupt in the middle of a sentence. They will despise you. They will not like you. They will not respect you. Mind you, when we're talking about people liking you, we're not talking of you licking their asses and becoming a yes man and going all out to impress them or to be who you are not. That's not what we're talking about. As human beings, we are all social beings, and we need some level of likeness to enjoy our lives. Imagine everybody hating on you, despising you, disrespecting you. Even you will not enjoy your life, right? So as social beings, we need some level of likeness for us to have a good level of well-being in life. That's what we're talking about. And it makes your life easier, right? Make more friends than enemies. Thank you. It makes your life easier. So that's what we're talking about. You want to get a job, you go there with a smile, you listen attentively, you are calm, you are respectful. You make a good impression. Somebody needs help, you listen to them, you go all out and all of that. And you are not faking it. You are learning to be that person to the point that it becomes something natural to you and people want to be around you. When they're around you, they don't feel tensed. They know you will listen to them. You will not judge them. You're not going to bash them. You will not lash out at them. Remember, one of the first chapters we reviewed says don't criticize. People will get defensive. Their ego will get in the way. And at the end of the day, you gain nothing from them. Right. So if you want to be a good conversationalist, stop talking about yourself. Listen more to people. Keep whatever you want to say first. Because we all are selfish. We all are more interested in ourselves than in other people. If you have a pain in your injury, that becomes your number one priority more than the war that is going on in Ukraine, more than the earthquake that is happening in Japan. If you have a business that you are pursuing, a contract, it becomes your number one priority more than whatever is happening, the war that is happening in Gaza and all the children and the people that are dying every day. So you care about yourself more. So have that mentality that, hey, this person cares about himself more. So give it to the person. Let them have their way. Let them feel important. It doesn't reduce you in any way. That is the summary of this, right? I'm going to stop here. I enjoy talking about this a lot, right? I'm so tempted to keep talking, but I'm stopping here. Thank you so much for joining me on tonight's review. Don't forget to like this video, share your comments with me, and please subscribe to this channel in case you are yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady, and on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. We'll review chapter 5 of part 2 tomorrow by God's grace. Until then, be intentional. Bye-bye. You're welcome, everybody.